Hey everyone, welcome back. Thank you for joining us today as we are live from the Batcave. My name is Nate, and this is my co-host.
Joel, hi. My name is Joel, just in case you didn't realise because you've gone stir crazy from lockdown. Hello, my name is Joel. How you doing, mate? You alright?
Bro, I'm as good as things can get in this day, I suppose.
Yeah. Well, we've still got media and comic books and
We've
films,
still we've still
and
we've still got some stuff.
yeah, so we'll keep ourselves entertained. How's it going? How's the life? How's it going with your life? How's film form going?
Film form's going good. So we embarked on a new challenge this week, which I won't talk about because that video will be coming soon. But
Embarked on a perilous
in
journey.
a perilous journey, and basically it's only Tuesday, yet by last night videos for Wednesday, Saturday, and the Wednesday after were complete. So that is very productive. So nice little backlog.
Nice.
Um,
Good
yeah,
stuff.
yeah, we were on we weren't on it, but we were watching Joey leave us charity stream, and we donated a bit, and it ended in both Joey and another YouTuber called Channel Pup giving us a huge shout out, and we've gained a few subs from that, which has been pretty cool. We're still very close to 2K. I think we're about 80 subs away from that, so that's exciting.
Push them forward.
It's exciting.
I saw Morgan did a video on film form, so that's good.
He did. I finally not the only one doing talking heads again, because obviously,
Yeah.
so apparently with this thing, and Sam did, to be honest, but then that just kind of fell for you out of nowhere.
Well, to be honest, it was like not working out. Like no one was doing them.
So apparently, yeah.
Yeah. So apparently so.
If any of you watched the last podcast, talked about a few things, but by the end of it, we talked about watching Stargirl, which we will get to later on. So I hope you guys have watched, and we've watched all three episodes.
Yeah, we did. We did end up watching all 3 episodes because they were all out. So yeah, we watched all 3. I hope you guys have all watched them as well, because we'll be doing spoiler reviews on Stargirl this week. The first 3 episodes, what we think.
But without further ado, as you guys, if you're avid watchers of Live from the Batcave, you will know what I'm about to say. Joel, what is the word on the web?
Oh, well, son, what do I have to tell you about the web and all the words it's got from me? I've got exciting news, and I feel like you would have brought it up to me by now if you knew about it. So I want to surprise you with something.
I'm very anxious.
As you are the resident Spider-Man fanatic on the podcast, I want to tell you some Spider-Man news.
I didn't know there was any Spider-Man news. Let's go.
Yeah. So, a specific person has signed on to appear in multiple Spider-Man sequels in the MCU.
Oh, I do know this.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh.
Okay. So we've got J.K. Simmons.
I really hope it's more like what he was doing in the Raimi films and not just a cameo.
Yeah.
That'd be
well,
cool.
I think he's signed on for multiple, which means, in one sense of the word, Peter's going to be working there at some point.
Yeah, do you think so?
Yeah.
Oh,
Because we're supposed to be getting like 3 Tom Holland trilogies. I'm not sure if that's confirmed or not, but that's the rumors.
That was the original idea. Whether that changed, I don't know. 'Cause obviously the deals, but that was, he's back. He's going. He's back. He's going. So who knows at this point?
Yeah. Tom Holland Spider-Man doing well, and J.K. Simmons doing even better, because that's amazing. I love that if they ever get the Spider-Verse going in those films, that we're going to see, maybe a Raimi Spider-Man show up and be like, oh, your J. Jonah Jameson looks just like mine.
Yeah. Well, this is the thing, right? When I first saw Spider-Man Far From Home, it was like a bit of like a bummer of a day. So I went there and I was on my own. And I was like, let's just watch the film, right? Let's just enjoy it. And I enjoyed it very much. And then I said after credits, obviously, and this, there's this after credit scene, and I was like, okay, cool. And then he said the name J. Jonah Jameson. My mind was like, did he just say J. And then he came on the screen, and I was like, anything that's happened today doesn't matter because I'm looking
count
at
anymore.
J.K. Simmons on my screen. I say my screen, on the view screen.
On the screen of viewer.
It was so cool.
Yeah, no, I loved that, and I thought that was just they took a Spider-Man film and then added a little spice to it. It was good. It was great. I'm super excited for that. That's like massive Spider-Man fans, of course. So, and if you are a Spider-Man fan, you probably enjoyed his portrayal of J. Jonah Jameson. So we're all lucky and all grateful to have him back in the MCU.
Very much so.
Yeah. Any news from your side of the web?
So, I have something which is related to WandaVision, but I feel like it could also relate to Multiverse of Madness, because obviously that's picking up after WandaVision, or in ties with it.
Right, yeah.
So, does the name Evan Peters stand out to you?
Yes, he's an American Horror Story, and he's also Quicksilver in the X-Men
universe. WandaVision reportedly cast X-Men Apocalypse and ASH, I'm assuming American Horror Story, star Evan Peters in mystery role. Now, obviously, we've had a Quicksilver played by Aaron Taylor Johnson.
Yeah.
We've had a Quicksilver played by Evan Peters.
Yeah.
Now, Evan Peters being cast in the MCU. We've got the Multiverse of Madness coming up. Disney owns the rights to those Fox films now. So, do you think there's going to be
Oh, yeah.
Because there's, for me, there's some good things and some bad things as well. The good thing is pretty cool, just come, cross universe, kind of like what they did, what they do in The Flash. But that version of Quicksilver has never had a Wanda. And obviously this version of Wanda
I think he does have a Wanda, just not a superpowered one.
What, in the X-Men universe?
Yeah. In Days of Future Past, he's shown to be at home with his mum, and I'm pretty sure they mention his sister.
Maybe then, I'm not sure. But either way, we haven't seen a Scarlet Witch from the X-Men universe. And obviously, the two very different Quicksilvers that we saw as well. One could move fast, and one was fast. You might as well class his powers of the slowing down time, because...
Well, they were Phineas and Ferb. One was fast, and one was fast with a PH.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's cool. Obviously, could be a stretch to say. It could be some absolute rando. Do you know what I mean? They did it with Chris Evans. They did it with is it Michael B. Jordan? Is that his name?
What, to multicast?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, technically, yeah, because the Michael B. Jordan was
Human Torch,
Johnny Storm, and then obviously he was the Killmonger.
Well, yeah, so they've already double cast someone who's been in the Fox Marvel, but no, it's all together. But they're still recasting. So well, not I say recasting, but assigning the role to a former X-Men. I don't know.
Okay, so what do you think is going on? Do you think he is Quicksilver? Do you think he's a new person?
I think that he is a new person, but for example, how in the Flash shows, because John Wesley Shipp plays his dad and Jay Garrick, then they were like, let's get him back as Barry Allen from his show, but a different universe. Do you know what I mean? Or what they did with Brandon Routh, where it's he's two different characters, but the reason it's cool why they're combining is because they're two different characters. Do you know what I mean? So I was thinking different character at first, but then maybe there's some crossover somehow, or just some glimpse or something, and they're like, wait, wasn't that just? And then I don't know, whatever character he plays. But I mean, hey, a show that's literally the first word is Wanda, and she would have been upset about two deaths, Pietro, or Peter as he is in the X-Men universe, and also Vision. But clearly, in this, Vision's back, or Vision is existent.
Yeah, we're not sure what's happening with Vision. I think that we might get him as Quicksilver through multiversal means.
That's what I was saying about the Madness ties, just because,
yeah,
you know.
But if he is to play someone new, who do you reckon he should play?
See, this all narrows down just to the fact that it's going to be in WandaVision specifically, because that show's weird. Like, it's like, they're on like sets of like old TV shows, and like one is in black and white, one's in the 50s. Do you know what I mean? It's a weird one.
Yeah, one's like a type like Rosette.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, also, by the way, viewers, I have chronic hay fever, so if I sound weird this week, pollen count is up. Yeah. Oh, that is difficult. I don't know who he would play, because Evan Peters is very diverse. If you've never seen American Horror Story, no season is the same. They're all the same cast, but they play different characters every season.
I didn't know that. Damn, I haven't seen it.
Watch American Horror Story. I think it's I don't like horror, but I like that show.
Okay.
So, yeah, it's interesting. There are good seasons and there are bad seasons.
Do you think... See, because I'm just trying to work out... Like, who would be in WandaVision anyway? Like...
Yeah.
Like, not even talking about, like, Evan Peters. Like, just who would be in it? Because in the trailers... Granted, I think we are, in this virtual Comic-Con we're getting, I think it was confirmed that we are getting a WandaVision and a Falcon and Winter Soldier trailer.
Right,
but,
okay.
Like, in the WandaVision clips we have seen, it's just been Wanda and Vision. So, like,
yeah, if we're going to get anyone else.
Yeah, I don't know if anyone else is... Obviously, other people
I don't know,
will be in
I
it.
feel like also... Are they not expensive actors to get at the moment? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, it's like Paul Bettany and someone else, isn't it?
Who's this now? Elizabeth Olsen?
Yeah. Elizabeth Olsen and Paul Bettany, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So those are like high-paid actors because of Marvel now. So Marvel is going to have to pay them quite a bit, and it's going to be like a per episode basis. So maybe the cast are going to be small for these. For these new shows.
I'm gonna do a tiny bit of googling just because I really don't know who else is going to be in that show. It's so... I never really thought of it, to be honest with you. Like, I've been looking forward to it. Okay, so there's apparently someone called... there's Kat Dennings, played by Darcy Lewis. Wasn't she...
She was Thor's...
Yeah.
Yeah, she was in the first Thor movie.
Okay, sure. Is she playing the same character? Is Kat Dennings the one that was in Thor?
Well, Kat Dennings is the actress. She's from Two Broke Girls.
Oh, yeah. I apologize. Oh, it is Darcy Lewis then. Yeah. No, it is, because it says Darcy Lewis.
Okay, that's
so,
odd.
Darcy Lewis is going to be in it. Monica Rambeau, played by Teyonah Parris.
Monica Rambeau, as in from. She was in what's it called?
It literally just says Monica Rambeau was a fictional character and a superhero appearing in American comic books published by Marvel.
Yeah, no, but
she was
we've met her already.
She was in the Amazing Spider-Man.
No. We've met
Captain
her already
Marvel?
in the Captain Marvel film. Yeah.
Was she?
She's the little girl.
Oh, she's the little girl.
Yeah, she's Maria Rambeau's daughter.
Okay. We've also got Jimmy Woo, who from Ant-Man. And also, nosy neighbor. Okay, so apparently they're gonna have a nosy neighbor.
Also Benedict Cumberbatch, but it doesn't say what role he's in, so I'm guessing Doctor Strange.
Right. Well, I haven't got that on my whatever I'm looking at here. But also, how can you say Benedict Cumberbatch is in it and go, but we don't know who he's going to play?
Yeah.
When we literally know the films
it's probably going to be Doctor Strange. I think he's going to be in the first episode, and he's going to be helping Wanda do what's happening now.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I like Scarlet Witch and Vision, so I'm not opposed to the show. If anything, it's like one of the ones I'm looking forward to most, along with Falcon and Winter Soldier. But
yeah,
I don't want them. weird is good, right? Like, going out of the box doing weird stuff is good, especially for these two characters, but I don't want it to just be the most
Yeah.
random... do you know what I mean? Like, there's one where it's in black and white for some reason, and the houses keep changing, and I hope they just do it well.
Yeah. I think it's going to be done well. I feel like it's going to be a way that they get Vision back, right? Because his personality's in that stone that they had to give back to the timeline. So I feel like what they're going to do is they're going to, like, use some means of magic in order to restore life and personality into the Vision robot through, like, her memories of him.
Yeah.
And, like, that's going to be, like, a plot point, and then, like, they're going through what life they could have had together or they want together or whatever, stuff like that. So, I think that's probably what's going to happen.
I mean, like, again, like you just said, it's not... Well, okay, so, and I know I've gone to this expression a lot, but Vision, his death, you know, obviously Thanos needed the Infinity Stone.
Yeah.
His death was so big to the point that he wasn't even in Endgame, and when everyone, in the credits of that film, when everyone had, like, their name and, like, the video, like, a clip of them, and then the main six had all the signatures at the end, like, he just wasn't in that, and I feel bad for him, because he deserved to be in that, but, you know, he obviously wasn't in the film.
Yeah, he did.
So, like, it's like a mix of, like, Vision's crucial, but we don't care about him enough. But then they made WandaVision.
Yeah.
Well, they say they're making WandaVision. And now... I love the two characters, bro, but I don't want to get a bad show out of it just for the sake of making loads of Disney Plus shows.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like you said before, like WandaVision and Winter Soldier, we're also getting Loki and stuff. I think, you know, with the amount of shows that we're getting, they have a good idea of what they're doing. They're expanding the MCU into their own new TV territory, because like the TV territory they had before, like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and those other shows, they're not going forward anymore. So I think what they're doing is, like, they're really trying to have a connected universe through their TV shows, and
but that's
and make
the thing. Like, there was things. For example, there was a Jessica Jones episode where a kid was like, "Do you know Captain America?" Do you know what I mean? And it's like, there's things like that. That's like, why didn't they connect them? Why couldn't the Defenders have been in Endgame? Do you know what I mean?
Because it was Netflix making the shows.
Yeah, so they could have if they could manage to do it with Universal, like, and Sony. Surely Netflix is a leeway.
Well, yeah, but that was different. That was like one owned the characters, one, you know, it was like a multi-million-dollar deal. Like with the Netflix shows, they were never supposed to be movies. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They were always supposed to be shows, and that's why they had limited connection. I don't think, I'm not losing sleep over the Netflix universe not being around anymore. I liked the Daredevil, and I liked the casting of Luke Cage and, you know, Jessica Jones. Iron Fist was a bit weird. But, like, I liked the casting mostly overall, and Iron Fist's second season was a lot better than its first. But I'm not that bothered. I would rather have something that because what this is for is it's for Disney Plus, right? So they're giving us a Marvel division in Disney Plus to be like, hey, we pump out this many films a year for each phase of Marvel. While you're waiting for those, we now want to build shows that you can follow along with that feature your favorite characters from these films.
But here's a question, see. Obviously, they tie in. WandaVision's going to tie in with Doctor Strange, and then obviously we got Falcon and the Winter Soldier. That's the Who Got America thing. Do you think? Yeah. I think What If is the only one that, like, isn't canon. Do you think that they? Okay, so do you think? I don't know how to word it. Are we gonna have to? You know, like how if you want to understand Infinity War Endgame, pretty much have to watch everything else. Do you think it's going to be a case of right, this film. Oh well, you have to have watched Falcon and the Winter Soldier to understand anything that's going on. Like, would people have to watch the shows? Do you think, or because I'm gonna regardless?
I think each phase will have that, right? I think the shows will be incorporated into the phases the way the movies are, right?
Well,
if you watch phase one,
well,
if you watch phase no, but listen, if you watch phase one, you don't need to know anything like until the end of phase one. If you watch everything from phase one, that's chill. In phase two, right? They start anew. You don't need to have watched phase one in order to get the stories from phase two, and so on and so forth. No, not really. I don't think so. I think every phase stands by itself.
Guardians and Ant-Man.
Yeah, but when you watch those films, you don't need to have watched the previous film in order to get them. I don't need to have watched Iron Man 1 in order to watch Iron Man 2.
Okay, fair. That was still phase one though, but okay.
Yeah, no, but you know what I mean. It's like certain sequels can stand by themselves, especially the Guardians 2 sequel.
Yeah.
That can definitely stand on its own. For me, it's like those shows are going to fall into the same categories as movies. They're going to be essential for each phase that they're in. Yeah. But once we get past that phase and a new generation of people start watching Marvel films, they can watch from the first film in each phase.
Do you think then, because obviously phase 4, or at least part 1 of phase 4 apparently, is like, WandaVision, Loki, Falcon and the Soldier. That's been announced for what we've seen of phase 4, that's what's been announced.
Yeah.
These shows will surely though have like season 2, and also because like we got She-Hulk coming, we got Moon Knight.
Yeah, well, it depends what they do with those shows, right? It's like it's they're going to tell stories in those universes, and I think they probably will stand by themselves as well, right? They'll like, if you get season 1 of Moon Knight, you can watch season 2 of Moon Knight, even if it's of a different phase, and it'll follow on from the previous season, right? But like it's though if you're connecting them to the movies anyway, right? So like WandaVision is going to be connected to a movie. Loki is going to be connected to a movie. No doubt they're going to make a movie after Falcon and Winter Soldier. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. They're not going to keep that as a TV show.
I mean, do you think so then? Do you think there'll be this is going to be a limited series and then a movie?
I think they've already got that with WandaVision. I think WandaVision is going to be a limited series, and then we're going to get Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness, and then it's going to follow on. So and everything.
It's basically like just a long movie.
Yeah.
And then that's okay.
In the format of a TV show, though, right? So you watch every episode of this TV show in preparation for a movie, and then they're going to be connected somehow. Then that movie happens, and then I don't think if you get a season 2 of that TV show, it's going to be following on from what happened in the movie, not from the last episode of the TV show. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I got you.
So, like, that's if they're connected to movies. But, like, say, like, She-Hulk isn't connected to any other movies, then, like, you could just watch season 1 of She-Hulk, and then when season 2 comes out, whatever phase it comes out in, you can just watch season 2. Because it hasn't been connected to a different movie.
I don't want to go off course too much. Do you think in She-Hulk we will see any kind of Bruce Banner / Everett Ross becoming Red Hulk?
Oh, yeah. You know what? I'm waiting for that man to be Red Hulk, because then it'll give my dream of having Thunderbolts.
Do you think they'll ever do it?
Not in this phase.
Well, this is... I feel like the only reason they brought him back was to do it, because they straight up brought him back for the...
I think he was a solid cast. I think that's why they brought him back. I think when they were casting those films, like, he was a solid cast.
Yeah.
And, like, they were like, if you're willing to sign on, then we'll keep you. Yeah, I do think they're going to have to do it eventually, but the Hulk doesn't have that opportunity to have his own movie, right?
Well, no, but that's what I'm saying. If Hulk shows up in She-Hulk, or if there's like a She-Hulk movie, or some sort of movie that follows on from She-Hulk, then, Planet Hulk movie or something. Even though they kind of did that
a Planet Hulk movie would be so sick. Yeah, I think Mark Ruffalo will show up in She-Hulk. In some sort of way. like through a phone call or in a scene.
But this is
I
the
think
thing.
we will have Mark Ruffalo at some point.
I don't think he can transform back now, can he? He's just Hulk, like Smart Hulk, Professor Hulk.
Oh, he's Professor Hulk, technically, yeah. Do you think that's a permanent thing?
I think so, just because they made such a big deal of like, I finally was able to combine the two, for them to then be like, nah, we've stopped now.
No, yeah, I get that. I think there will be. I think there will be a way that he can turn back into Bruce Banner, like for situations.
But that would separate the personalities again, though, like, because this is Hulk's body with Banner's mind, basically. But if he can just basically change back to Hulk, back to Banner whenever he wants, that's just as if he's murdered Hulk. He's like, I've taken your body, you're gone now.
Yeah, that is weird. Yeah, maybe. Oh, you know what? That's the thing though. She-Hulk is always She-Hulk as well, right?
Yeah.
She's not.
But do you reckon they would do that as well? Do you reckon they will?
But that's only recent incarnations. Like she used to do the thing as well, where she would transform into She-Hulk. But like most recently in comics, she's just always She-Hulk.
Do you think they can afford that? Like, I know Marvel Studios obviously have big budgets for all this stuff now, but I mean, to keep like
do
a
you
Hulk
think she's gonna look like the Hulk?
I mean, I don't think she's gonna be as tall and as
Well, no, because she's only like just slightly bigger than the average woman.
Yeah, but they still are. Oh, do you think they'll just come over then and just paint?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So I don't know what she's gonna look like, whether she's gonna look all CG like the Hulk does, or whether she's gonna look like paint.
Okay. Well, I mean,
because you could just paint Ronda Rousey, right?
Yeah.
Like you could do the Lou Ferrigno thing. You just have a normal sized man play Bruce Banner. And
imagine he shows up as well, because every Hulk film there's been since he's made a cameo.
What, Lou Ferrigno?
Yeah, imagine he's in She-Hulk.
Yeah, that'd be good. Imagine it's like he's like a criminal she's defending or something like that.
Yeah, but how much would that suck? Because not only is he cameoed in every solo Hulk film, but he was the voice of like Hulk in all the other films. But then for the end game, possibly the biggest one, they're just like, oh no, bro, it's Mark now. Like the man a lot shorter than you. Yeah, it's him.
Yeah, but I think it's important to like for that character's development if they are keeping him as Professor Hulk from now on, that like he does do that. I like him as Professor Hulk, but like I don't know. I don't know if that just allows like there's a lot of storylines that I feel like that kills, right? Because in the comics, there's a lot of things happen because the Hulk can't control his rage.
Yeah.
And also, he gets stronger the angrier he gets, right?
Yeah.
Like, Mark Ruffalo is a pretty zen person as Bruce Banner.
Exactly, and it's like in Endgame, he has like the sling on after he hits his arm, and suddenly, like we see him like punch like 2 aliens.
Yeah.
It's like the idea was you put in the brains and the bones together. That's what you said. But so far, you've only done the brains.
Yeah. I feel like he is probably weaker than like Hulk that's just madly angry.
Yeah.
Like, maybe there'll be like something like he loses control of his intelligence the angrier he gets.
That kind of makes sense. But then again, it's like, so Hulk can come out in the same way he would, but Banner can never turn back to himself. It's like I feel like that's the idea of putting the two together, that he didn't have to transform.
Yeah. It does mix things.
There was a deleted scene.
Like he just reminds me of the Thing now. Yeah, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, there was a deleted scene where if you went back to the cinema like that second time they did it for a weekend, you could watch it, and like it was just like this unfinished scene where he was basically saving a bunch of people from a fire, and like he was like being his Hulk self, like he was running, there was roars, there was like a big like he did like one of those big jumps, and then saved loads of people. But then right at the end, he was strutting. He was all cool. He was, officers, good. Like he was, yeah.
Do you think they cut that because they don't quite know where they're going with him?
I think so. It ended with a phone call, basically. It was like, Steve who? And then he was like, oh, and then it ended. So it was obviously the phone call that was made in order to call it for them to get to the cafe. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, right, yeah.
But
Yeah.
I mean, nah, it looked cool. It'd be cool if it was finished. Obviously, like there was no need since they weren't keeping it, but I would have also
they
loved
didn't
to
need
have
to.
seen more stuff because I paid like an extra £3 to go back a second time to see the film. Because I was gonna leave it at one because I was like, I want my only Endgame cinema experience to be the one I remember. But I went back again
Yeah.
because they were like extra footage. It was, which is the tall Russo brother? Is that one Joe? The one with the glasses, brown hair, not the one that cameos in all the films they direct.
Yeah, I think that's Joe.
It was just him, not even Anthony as well. It was just him being like, "Thank you guys for watching loving the movie. Here is it again," and then the film plays on exactly the same, and then right to the end is the Hulk scene, and then that's it.
Well,
It was so
wow.
rocks.
They could have. Well, no, they really couldn't because it's only footage that they could give you. I like the idea that the Iron Man and Doctor Strange would swap costumes.
In Infinity War, yeah, that was cool. Because it wasn't even like, because when I heard of that, I was thinking, what, straight up? But I kind of like the idea of Doctor Strange having the nanotech, and then Tony Stark just having the cloak.
Yeah, so it's just Tony with the cloak, and then the Iron Man suit wraps around the Eye of Agamotto.
Yeah. Oh, see, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
And like, again, we paid extra money to go back and watch that Endgame scene. Not only that, but there was different things that came out in the Blu-ray, and then different things they didn't even release at all, and it came out on like Twitter. You know, like the kneeling scene, where they all kneel to Tony Stark.
Yeah.
Like that wasn't in the extra footage thing, and that's not on the Blu-ray. That's just something that came out on the internet, and like, they could have done that for the Iron Man and Doctor Strange thing. Like the footage isn't out. Like granted, there probably will be CG, but the footage is just out, and I'd like, to have seen that because that sounds cool.
Yeah, that would have been cool. What do you think about Marvel marathons now? Do you think they're going to like go away because of like the amount of movies that are adding to the Marvel slate?
I don't think it's gonna go away because of the amount of movies. I definitely think with the shows, people will be a bit hesitant. Just, obviously, Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness. We'll watch that after we watch, I don't know, what was it, Eternals? We'll watch that after we watch Eternals. But wait, we got to watch WandaVision as well. Wait, there's 5 episodes of them. Oh, okay. Right. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
plus like the official cinema marathons, are they going to include the Disney Plus shows?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, I don't know. Like, I went to Bristol to do a marathon on Marvel films. I think it was when one of the Avengers came out, maybe, or maybe it was Civil War. I think it was when Civil War came out. I went to Bristol to go to a cinema that was doing an official Marvel marathon of every film before then. And it was like, there was just like films in which people were going asleep through so they could wake up and do the other films.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's another thing as well. It's like, do you think people are gonna... Everyone's always gonna love Iron Man. People aren't gonna stop loving Iron Man, right? But do you ever think that it's gonna get to a point where it's like Phase 4 is so different that let's try and forget about Black Widow. It's so different to the Infinity Saga that people will just start their binge of Phase 4 from now on if they plan to watch Phase 4 stuff, because apparently it's going to be very different, and it's like, with the shows.
I don't know
and the
though, because we're still
multiverse.
getting like Guardians 3 in Phase 4, aren't we?
Yeah, oh yeah, we are.
And like Black
Spider-Man
Panther 2,
as well.
And
Yeah, fair.
So
but again,
like,
I mean, but we're not getting
sequels of films.
It's like we're getting sequels of them films, but we ain't getting any more Captain America. We ain't getting any more Thor. We ain't getting any more Iron Man, which doesn't revolve around them, but you pretty much got to watch through their entire trilogies each before you can get to Phase 4 with the newer stuff. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I get you.
Well, saying that, Thor is having a fourth, isn't he, in Phase 4?
Yeah, we've got Love and Thunder. Okay, so with that said, just because after speaking about J. Jonah Jameson, we've gone on a rant about Marvel. I've got another piece of news. That's super exciting for me because I love this film. Upgrade the film had like short releases and stuff, and but it did really well because it was such a good concept movie, high concept movie. It's getting a sequel TV series at Blumhouse Productions, and Lee Whannell, who directed the movie, I believe, is connected to the project, so he may be directing the TV show as well.
Nice.
I'm pretty sure he directed that movie. I'm not sure.
Well, look, whoever did, like, I haven't seen it, but I've seen that fight scene and the way they do the camera movements with, like, the gyroscope and the mobile phones, and oh my god, that's just fantastic and genius. And even though I'm sure the credit doesn't go to the director, it's, you know.
Well, I'm pretty sure it was like the director's vision, but it needs to go to, like, you know, the production company that did it as well, Blumhouse. But it's such a good movie. It was made on a ridiculously low budget for Hollywood as well.
Yeah.
And I'm excited to see how they do this, because I'm not going to spoil it for Nathan. But I don't know how they're going to do this. For everyone who has seen the film, I would like to hear your theories on how they're going to revive this.
I'm assuming
it's not that. It's you'll need to watch the film, definitely. But I'm not sure how they're going to move forward with this, because what is the point is all I'm going to say. What's the point of moving forward with upgrades? What more do we need to see? So, with that in mind, what do you think about movies being made into television shows? This is why I wanted to bring up this piece of news.
So
I saw the film Limitless, and that was made into a really good TV show.
So do you mean a film that then had a TV show, or something that was going to be a film but then got turned into a TV show instead?
Films that spawned TV shows.
It all depends, because Big Hero 6, banging. Animated series, sucks.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, I mean...
Isn't that the case with most animated movies as well?
I think so. There's lots of different...
Like Boss Baby Back in Business or whatever.
Oi, don't diss Boss Baby Back in Business. That is a bad show, but it's brilliant. It's baby. It is baby back in business. Yeah, no, I mean...
I know I'd struck a nerve.
No, it's like... I think TV shows happen because it's a way of getting more of it for less the budget, even though DreamWorks is putting the same amount of, you know, detail into the characters that they would in the film, and the TV show has struck out to be longer than the actual film is, so they could have just done a sequel. But I mean, yeah, it depends. What's the
Well, they always change the type of animation so they can keep the costs down.
Yeah, I mean, kind of. Well, they did, like, because of course there's things like, obviously you got Lion King and you got like sequels that were straight to DVD things. But then doesn't Disney Junior have like the Lion Cub or something like that?
There is like Lion King TV shows, the Lion Guard or something like that.
Yeah. It just depends on the topic, and then also, because I mean I've never seen it, but Rebels is apparently astonishing.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, a lot of the in canon Star Wars TV shows are brilliant.
But then again,
Mandalorian is.
I know for the fact that
I could have wanted.
I know for the fact that Revenge of the Sith comes after Rebels, so I know that like they still there's still movies coming out after it. So like if they did a Big Hero 6 2, Big Hero 7, let's say, it's like, you know, I feel like it could be a bit more excusable, because it's kind of like, oh, this is just a thing they did on the side, whereas this is meant to be like the full sequel to the film, just this TV show that was just not good.
Right. I think in general they are a mixed bag. Star Wars TV shows, I can say most of them really, really good. I watched the Limitless TV show, but that was so different to the film. The film was like a movie based on a concept executed perfectly. The TV show was the concept being thrown into brand new territory and also being executed well. But it was like they just took the concept and changed it a bit. So have you ever seen Limitless?
Guess the answer.
No.
Bro. Psychic.
Bro, see, this is unfortunately, viewers of Live from the Batcave, we have an uncultured. No, I'm joking. So yeah, that's one I think we need to watch in the future. Limitless is a really good thing, but it's basically based around someone who can take a pill and their intelligence grows exponentially till they're geniuses, but like sci-fi level geniuses. And the show's about just a guy who takes the pill and like his life starts over. He just everything. It's about just a guy, right? And then the TV show is about a different guy who still knows that other guy somehow through non-spoilery means. I'm not going to say, but a guy who takes that pill becomes a genius level intellect, but then he gets hired by the FBI because they know he's on that pill.
So it's kind of like if they did Bruce Almighty and they made Evan Almighty a TV show.
Yeah, so it's like if they did Bruce Almighty, but then they made Evan Almighty a cop drama.
Right. Did so you know the character that's the star of this TV show, was he in the original film?
No.
Right,
but the original film's actor is in the TV show.
Right, okay. Okay. I mean, like I said, it's completely down to just what the purpose is. If it's because you want to do another one but you don't have the budget, don't do it. Because there's no point in ruining it. If it's because you think you can get something better out of a TV show, then by all means, go for it.
Yeah, well, I mean, Upgrade did well with like making money for Blumhouse, because obviously Blumhouse is a small studio and they didn't like put loads of money into it. It was quite cheap Hollywood standards wise, so they filmed it, they did it. It was executed perfectly on a really small budget, and then it definitely made money, like super duper made money, like not loads of money, but like it didn't lose money in the box office even though it was short releases. Like people love this film.
Well, like, wasn't there a rumor, or like it might have been confirmed but then cancelled, I'm not sure, but after The Force Awakens they were going to make like a BB-8 show, but like they didn't because they didn't want
That shouts merchandise to me.
I mean, this is the thing, right? BB-8, like the merchandise for that thing was just everywhere, right? And I can't say it wouldn't work because, you know, Wall-E, but
yeah,
I mean, it felt very on the nose. But I mean, it never happened, which is
good.
Whether we know if it's good or bad, I don't know, but probably good. Is the Yoda TV series still happening? Is that a thing that exists, or
I don't know. I haven't heard anything about a Yoda TV series.
Am I thinking of someone different? Someone from the Star Wars franchise. It's not Ahsoka. I swear someone from the Star Wars franchise.
The Mandalorian is the only TV series I can think
I could have sworn there was another one. I'm not sure. It don't matter. Yeah, it just comes down to whether they think it's needed. Because, for example, Mandalorian, great show, I've been told. Still haven't watched it.
Yeah.
But even though it's connected with the Star Wars universe, and it obviously has references, it's still its own thing. Like, you know, if I could safely say that we haven't seen this Mandalorian before, or has he been in Rebels, or
the Mandalorian? No. This is the first time we're introduced.
Yeah,
to him.
exactly. So same universe, but a completely different person. Whereas if the show was about Boba Fett, it might have been a bit different because they were trying to work off something that already existed and just try to please people.
Right. I agree. Yeah, I agree. So ultimately, it's down to the intent behind the filmmakers and why they're carrying on the intellectual property. If they're doing it because it's an intellectual property that has a lot more to explore, and they feel like a movie is not the right way to explore it, or they feel like they want to explore it in depth over multiple seasons, then I think it's a good idea. But if they're doing it in order to cash in on the movie's popularity, or to sequelize something that they can't afford or get greenlight a sequel for, then yeah, it's probably a bad idea.
Yeah.
Do you have another piece of news?
Not something we need to talk about for long, because I. Actually, I have something different. First of all, and then if we have a bit of time, I'll talk about the other thing. So,
okay.
As we all know, there was a film that was meant to release in November of last year, but it didn't. It got pushed back due to a lot of complaints, let's say, about the certain design of a certain someone. But on Valentine's Day of this year, we got Sonic the Hedgehog.
Gotta go fast.
The sequel is coming.
Yes. Absolutely. Love that. I love that.
Spoiler alert for Sonic. Tails shows up in a mid-credit scene.
Yes.
What do we think they're going to do with that?
So Sonic is going to be settling in lovely with his new family, and then Tails is going to be like, "Hey Sonic, stuff's going on, and we're going to need you to jump back into the adventure."
Well, the way, there's no reason to believe that Sonic actually knows Tails in this universe. But
yeah, true. But they're
I'm pretty sure Tails said something like, "Oh, like I found you." Do you know what I mean? As if he had been looking for a while. And also, apparently, those creatures that basically chased down Sonic and his owl mother.
Yeah,
they would all have Knuckles.
Yeah, Knuckles
species.
Yeah. Yeah, that's Yeah, so I have mixed feelings. The Sonic movie, just a quick recap review. The original thing that it was going to be, with the design was awful. They changed the design. The design looked great. It's a kids' film, right? It's for kids. It's not for the generation of people who grew up playing the Sonic.
There's definitely things in there for them.
They definitely are. Yeah.
It is a kids' film.
There are people who there's things in there for the people who play the Sonic video games, but it's using that intellectual property and starting a new stories with Sonic. We're not picking up from any previous stories. This is a brand new Sonic with brand new timeline and a brand new mechanics. I love this film.
It was very, very good.
I thought it was brilliant because it was made for kids, and I thought when going into it, they've remodeled the character. They will have had to have then changed a lot of things about the film. This is going to be a kids' film. This is not going to be targeted towards me at all. And I went in with low expectations. My expectations were blown out of the water. It was a family blockbuster. And it didn't deserve to be as good as it was.
Do you want to know what it was? I went into Sonic knowing all the backlash it had with the design and thinking this is probably going to be a kids' film. And it came out and I was like, that was so good. And I feel like that's why my expectations were really high for Scoob. And why I was disappointed with our film. Because I saw what Sonic did. And I saw a film that I thought was going to be kid-centric. It was going to be all for the children. Nothing, redeeming.
Yeah.
And just, laughs and, whatever. But it was very good.
It was great. And no, I completely agree with the Scoob thing. Normally when it's a children's film or it's something that's not targeted towards you sort of put your hopes down and you're like, okay, so I'll watch this because of it. It's based on an intellectual property that I respect. But, pinch of salt with everything. The same way I went into the Despicable Me films.
Well, I mean, we were younger then anyway. Obviously, you weren't as young as me, but I saw that with my dad and my brother, and I got a story about that. That film Mandela affected me to make me look like a liar, because I watched that film and I could have sworn that when they were going through the tunnels of Victor's house, the one minion gives the other minion a wedgie, shakes him, and then he becomes a glow stick. And I found that hilarious when I was younger, right? Watched it with my mates. They were like, "Oh, it's a really funny scene, yeah." Well, I didn't know the word scene existed in terms of the film, so I was like, this really funny part where Minion gives him a wedgie and he shakes him and then he starts glowing. And then I watched the film with him, and basically he just does it like a normal glow stick. So cracks his back, shakes him, and they were like, "You lied. We were ready. That would have been hilarious. You lied." Like, no, I didn't. This must be a different film. So yeah, that's just my trauma with Despicable Me.
Mandela affected, or you didn't remember it. I think, I think that can happen. But with the Scoob thing, I think obviously we're both massive fans of Scooby Doo, but you put like a lot of expectation because it was going to be a Scooby Doo project on it.
But they haven't done that since they haven't done like a Scooby Doo movie since. Like they've done like James DVD Gunn things, ones. Yeah, but James Gunn was the last one that had like theatrical releases. And they put all this thing. It was a really cool redesign. Like they had modernized the characters. So it was like, this is gonna be good, right? Otherwise, why not just leave it as the same characters, right?
Yeah.
And if you watched the pod where we talked about it, like there was things that I was like, that's cool, but immediately, bam, joke. Make this scene that was really emotional funny.
Yeah, that's episode 4, by the way, guys. If you want to check that out, our review of Scoob. Are we on episode 6?
But we're on episode 6.
Jesus Christ, guys! Thanks for everyone who's watched any of these. So, yeah, no, I think your expectations of Scoob were probably going to be a little bit higher than Sonic.
The issue is now though
crushed.
My expectations for Sonic 2 is going to be, which let's be honest, it's probably going to be called Sonic and Tails.
Oh, bro, I think it should be called that. Please be called that.
No,
or
I
Sonic
feel like
Adventures or something. Oh,
I don't think they would do that. Just out of.
Do you not, bro?
Just out of not confusing it from the game.
Just call it Sonic Underground.
No, because if a kid is like, "Hey, mom, can you go get me like Sonic Underground or something, or Sonic Adventures?" He'd be like, "Yeah," just comes back with a film, and he's like, "What is this? Is the game you wanted?" No, it's not.
Yeah.
Do you think that that Jim Carrey's going to be in it as full-on Eggman, or do you think that's going to be more future?
Ooh, yeah. I think Jim Carrey will come back and he will be more Eggman, but he won't be full Robotnik Eggman.
Right. Okay. Because obviously we've seen he's lost his hair. He's got the mustache. He's fat.
Yeah. I think he'll be as Eggman as we're probably going to get in these movies, maybe.
I mean,
because he's not fat enough, really, is he?
Yeah, but Monica was never fat in Friends, but there we are. Well, she was. The actor wasn't.
What did that? What?
In Friends, when they had flashbacks, because Monica used to be really fat, so they just had like a fat suit and makeup.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Well, that's the thing. That's what I mean. Like, are they gonna fat suit him eventually? Is he gonna be full Robotnik type Eggman, or is he Is he just gonna be like that like little bit of pudgy fat that we got in the Sonic thing? Either way, I'm super excited for the sequel of this. Like the first film had no right to be as good as it was. Like it's not a great film. Don't get me wrong. It's not like the best film ever, but it's just like it has so many redeeming qualities, and the fact that it's targeted towards families and like it's one of those feel good blockbuster films. I just feel like it did a good enough job for it to be like good by me, because I'm a cinephile. Like I love cinema in general, so you'll hardly ever see me critique things unless I'm genuinely critiquing the way the film was made. But like in general, I like most things, and like family blockbuster films are not films I'll go, oh well, this wasn't stylistic or artistic, so I can't like this. I'll just be like, no, this was a good film because I can see why other people would like it, and I can tell why I enjoyed it. So that's my review. But Sonic 2, super excited for it. Are you ready for the next piece of news from me?
Next piece of news? Yes, I am. Very prepared.
So the next piece of news that I have, and my final piece of news, is... It's an exciting one for me because I've watched all of this, and I know you haven't. So this is going to be one where I'm speaking more towards the viewer. But Lucifer signed a different contract. So Tom Ellis came in and closed a deal to renew his acting as Lucifer. Now, we were all under the impression that season 5 on Netflix was going to be the last season of Lucifer because it was cancelled by Fox in season 3. Netflix saved it for season 4, and then they gave us a season 5, and they were like, this is going to be the last season. We're going to wrap everything up. This new deal, with some of the actors hinting otherwise, may give us a season 6.
So you don't think it's like... So you think it is going to be like a season 6 or not? Because obviously we had Lucifer in Crisis. Do you think it could be something like that again?
Well, Lucifer is on Netflix. He's not on any like CW or anything like that. Right, he's not on a... He's just on Netflix. So the fact that he showed up in Crisis was like good faith between two studios, right? It was like, hell yeah, like this is cool. Warner Brothers TV and Netflix have struck a new deal with Tom Ellis, and it seems as though the studios are now willing to do a season 6. And as long as Tom Ellis has signed off on it, I think we're going to get a season 6 for Lucifer. Lucifer will not end in season 5.
Have they not already filmed an ending?
What, for season 5?
Yeah.
Yeah, but that, like, I'm pretty sure there was delays because of the virus.
Right. Okay.
So during lockdown, they've signed new contracts and stuff like that. I think they're probably going to still end the season the way they were going to end the season, just a little bit more open-endedly, maybe.
What if the season ended with him being like, "Okay, I'm an angel now"?
Mate, watch the show. Like you don't understand. That's like, Lucifer's really good. Like, so it's a cop drama basically. He's Lucifer, and he goes around with Chloe Decker solving crimes, right?
Right.
But one of his main powers is the power of desire. He can ask someone what they desire, and they have to tell him the truth. So that's like the way he helps solve crimes. It doesn't work on Chloe Decker, by the way. It doesn't work on the detective he works with, which is the reason he works with her.
Okay.
So, like, it's NCIS, Satan's backyard. But then, like, you've got a load of other stuff. Like, it's not all DC Comics Lucifer stuff. Like, we don't have a load of, like, John Constantine cameos or anything like that. But you have, like, a load of other stuff, like angels and stuff. And like, there's an episode called God Johnson.
Right.
Like, you have Maze, who's a demon. And, like, it's someone Lucifer brought from hell to like, run his bar. Because he owns a bar. He owns a nightclub in LA. So, like, there's really, really massive supernatural elements to the show. And, like, a lot of people think Lucifer Morningstar is just, like, his stage name or something, because he lives in LA, in Hollywood.
Right.
Like, so people don't think he's the devil. But he's genuinely the devil, including Chloe Decker.
Right.
So, it's such a good show, man. I think maybe we're gonna have to put that on the list of things to introduce you to, because after we've finished getting you through certain seasons of stuff, like we're probably gonna make you watch some more Rick and Morty, and you can tell the viewers what you think about the other episodes in the season. I think maybe we should maybe start a new segment, like a What We Watch, except like an episodic thing of like, hey, you can watch like an episode of this and stuff, and you can tell me your opinion on it, whether you're gonna watch the show further and stuff like that.
Well, at this rate, we already have a segment called What Nathan Didn't Watch, just because we haven't seen.
Yeah. I think there's a long list of stuff I want to expose you to, such as like Misfits, Lucifer, loads of different shows. Heroes, have you ever seen Heroes?
I don't think so.
You know the guy who plays Bloodwork?
Yes.
A show about superheroes where he's in it.
Okay, well, sounds cool.
Yeah, they're not technically superheroes. It's just called Heroes, but it's like a show with the world. Like,
I've definitely heard of it.
there are, yeah, there's people who have superpowers in the world. Really cool show, by the way. Heroes, super good. Just really slow at the start.
Yeah.
So there's like definite seasons you need to get into, but I think that's probably one because it's like heroes themed and stuff like that, and we're both massive comic book nerds that you'll probably be interested in. So yeah,
Yep.
we'll start that segment soon. Maybe next week, maybe the week after. But yeah, bunch of anime as well. You've never seen like any anime, like I think I should probably show you One Punch Man or My Hero Academia, a school for superheroes. Oh, it's such a good one as well. Yeah, super excited about that. So, viewers, I think we've just decided on air. Nathan's Uncultured Corner is coming. We'll shop with some names, but it's basically Nathan's not seen a lot of stuff, and I've seen way too much stuff. So we're gonna make him like me.
Sound.
You got another piece of news?
I have one more, which literally, like it, to my knowledge, it's come out whilst recording this podcast, so I'm glad I've seen it.
Right.
So it's not really comic book or nerd, but it's very nostalgic, and I'm hoping a lot of people liked it, because I know you do, Joe. Does the names Drake Parker and Josh Nichols mean absolutely anything to you?
Yes, it does.
So, for years we've been getting teases and lies and cancelled agreements about any type of reunion, and then they were like, Jake and Josh reunion, and it was like on that show Grandfathered, where just that Josh Peck is in, and then Drake Bell just showed up for an episode for a bit.
Right. I've not seen that show.
I haven't. No, I did it, bro. I watched the cameo, and that was it. But
all right.
Things have been spoken, and basically nothing has been confirmed. Nickelodeon are doing lots of things where they're bringing back old cartoons in different ways, whatever, basically rebooting them. And a network that's connected directly with Nickelodeon called Uncrazed said that a Drake and Josh reboot is happening. Now, reboot, I didn't like that idea. But then there was something that Drake Bell had said that, well, I'll just quote it off you. Neither of us want to do a reboot. It has to be something cool. It has to be something creative. So, no. Honestly, I never thought anyone would be coming back. He never thought anyone would be coming back. Now, what he thought, pretty much, I'm not going to, jump to assumptions, but him saying, I never thought they'd come back, could kind of mean that they have come back. And apparently there's not table reads, but like script writing rooms to be assembled in 2020 with ideas that are pre-planned.
Right. So yeah. So I did hear before that there was like a reboot in the works.
I don't want a reboot.
Yeah, but
unless
like maybe it's gonna be like a revival instead.
Well, this is the thing, okay? Drake and Josh is banging. Personally, I don't want a new show with them. I would have just liked for the old show to not have get cancelled. Because apparently...
that was in like 2007.
Exactly, well that's the thing. But apparently the final episode, which I never got to make, was called Drake's Dad and Josh's Mother. Mom. Which would have been dope, right? Because what happened to them? Either way. There's ways they could do this. They could reboot it with new guys playing Drake and Josh, right? New apartment, new Megan, new mom and dad. Yeah, okay, sure. Another way they could do it is Drake and Josh, but they're adults, and maybe they're coming back from college or something, okay?
Well, I mean, they're in like their 30s right
Exactly. That's what's leading me on to the third one, is that it's not called Drake and Josh, it's called something and something, but they're actually just cousins because they're Drake and Josh's kids. Now,
oh, bro, that would be sick.
See, good. I don't even know if I want that either, though. Only because
yeah, but that's probably what they would do as well because of Raven Simone.
Raven's home, yeah.
Yeah,
but that's the thing, though. It's and I don't want to cut you off, but I don't. if we're getting a Drake and Josh, like a new Drake and Josh show, the focus would be on the new kids and not Drake and Josh. Whereas I'm not going to lie to you, I want to see Drake and Josh.
Yeah, but who is making the show? Because Nickelodeon are not going to make shows catered towards people our age.
That is very true. And yeah. Well, like, that's the thing. They're doing new things. Let's see if I can find what they said they were doing. Reboots are becoming a common thing in showbiz with all the likes of All That, Rugrats, Hey Arnold, and okay, they're doing they've done Animaniacs, I think, but they're doing Lizzie McGuire reboot.
Lizzie
Clueless.
McGuire, Jesus Christ.
And apparently,
I remember Lizzie McGuire. I also remember Lizzie McGuire being like, there was an advert on every Disney disc I ever owned.
just like Lizzie McGuire, bro. I've never seen it, and it's like everywhere I go, that's anything Disney. It's like, oh, and also Lizzie McGuire, and I'm like, why? Why does that exist? Like, it's
I think it was a good show. It was like it. I remember it
was
had like an animated.
Wasn't it like the Lizzie McGuire movie?
Yeah, exactly. I don't know whether. I think it was a show and a movie, maybe. I think there was. Yeah, I think there was. There was definitely a show. There might have been a movie because I used to get loads of adverts for Lizzie McGuire stuff on like. Do you ever like have a Disney DVD that you would put in a DVD player, and then it would show you a bunch of adverts before you started the film?
Bro, like, not currently, because.
But no, but like back in the day.
But yeah, like literally.
Yeah, she was on. Lizzie McGuire was on like all of my ones.
Yeah, bro. I mean, what's I think what did I used to.
That one that's like, you wouldn't steal a TV.
Oh my god.
It's like, you don't know me.
The funny thing is, I only ever saw that on one DVD, and it was on Alvin and the Chipmunks, but I just watched that film so many times that, like...
You've seen it loads, yeah.
Yeah.
I think I first saw the Lizzie McGuire stuff on my like Santa Claus the movie DVDs. That's gonna be one that like I don't know whether we do it like a Nathan's Never Watched or a What We Watch, but I think at Christmas time, one of the Christmas times, I really want to watch the Santa Claus trilogy with you, with Tim Allen. Just the first film's a banger. The other two is just like, to me, are still bangers because I was a kid when watching them.
Well,
but it's pure nostalgia trip. I'm
happy to do them. I do want to change the subject back quickly, just because I have come up with an idea.
Yeah.
What if, and again, you know, they might be a bit old for this at this point, because it has been, like 13 years. But it could be something along the lines of, like, Megan is graduating, and they come back for that, or something happens with Megan, because...
I think if they do another, like, thing with Drake and Josh in it, like, of course they're iconic and stuff, but they're not gonna do like Drake is a office worker and Josh is a, you know, I feel like contractor or whatever.
I feel like Josh would be an office worker, but Drake would definitely be like touring.
Yeah. So it's like, it's like a. I don't think they're gonna do that. Like, not unless the show's about their kids. I think if they do bring it back and it's not a show about their kids, they need to just do like a Drake and Josh movie.
Well, I was gonna say, they made Drake and Josh Go to Hollywood, which slaps. It's a banging film, and then the show finished. Then in 2008 they came back for the Christmas one, which was also pretty good as well.
Right.
You know what? It was really good. It was really good. It was really, really good.
Maybe they just do like a Jay and Silent Bob type road trip film.
I was gonna, but even that, like, that's pretty much like Jay and Silent Bob. Drake and Josh Go to Hollywood is like Megan accidentally flies there for whatever reason. I think, I'm not sure, because she's meant to be flying to like see her friend in some other state. She accidentally goes to LA. They have to basically follow her. Drake ends up being able to get a gig somewhere. Stuff goes down, right?
Right.
But basically, they end up getting kidnapped through like different means. They have like an iPod that accidentally got swapped. There's loads of fake cash on it. Money's being printed. Shit goes down. It's a very, very broad concept for Drake and Josh, but it was banging, right? Just do something like that again.
Yeah.
Like, just because like there was a Big Time Rush movie where they went to UK, where they came to the UK and they were like spies. And again, that's very not what the show's about.
Yeah, no, it's
It
definitely
stonks.
Yeah, I think it'd be good. I think it'd be good if they brought it back, but they need to do it in the right way because Nickelodeon are definitely not going to make a show for adults.
And I can't speak much either because I don't watch it much. But Nickelodeon's downgraded. I mean,
yeah, definitely.
iCarly was great, but going from Drake and Josh to iCarly, I think personally was a downgrade. I'm not saying it was a big one because iCarly is a good show, but not as good as Drake and Josh. And then things like Henry Danger's probably the most recent banging one that came out, and Thundermans, but even that was ended a few years ago. They've got a show called Game Shakers, and that wasn't great. And the stuff they got now is just it's not banging. So
no,
I don't want to get imagine it's called Josh and Drake, and the reason it's called Josh and Drake is because Drake's son's called Josh and Josh's son's called Drake. Imagine that'd piss me off.
They just make a show and it's it's Drake and Dosh.
Bro, imagine I forget the one of them's name, but imagine they're like, oh, Drake and Josh reboot / remake, whatever, Drake and Josh spin off, Drake and Josh come back, all get excited, and then it's those two nerds, Eric and something. Remember them?
Yeah.
Imagine it's just a show about them.
Yeah.
Because
you know what I need? I need an iCarly show, but about the internet bully.
About Neville.
Yeah.
Bro. Neville's a G. He's the guy behind Anonymous, I tell him.
Bro, he's the guy that is warning.
I got something I need to rant about as well just before we move on. It's to do with Drake and Josh and all that. So,
okay.
Megan is obviously Carly, the actress, right? But for all intents and purposes, they're different, yeah? As is Spencer is also Crazy Steve, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
But Craig, that's the one, that's it. Craig and Eric show up in an episode of iCarly as Craig and Eric, along with Trevor, the really strange guy from the movie theatre, right?
Yeah.
They show up as their characters in iCarly. Victoria Justice is Tori and Victorious, and she's also this something Mark's girl in iCarly, right? She's a boxer. iCarly and Victorious crossed over, which means they're the same universe, right? But also, in Victorious, Helen from Drake and Josh became their principal for one episode.
Yeah.
And she was like, oh, I work in a movie theater in San Diego, right? It's Helen, same character, right? But then, in another episode of Victorious, someone is like, oh, this happened to me once. And someone was like, no, it didn't. That's just an episode of Drake and Josh. And it's if Craig and Eric were in iCarly, and Helen was in Victorious, and then Victorious and iCarly crossed over, and there's even an oh, bro, don't even. How is it a TV show? How is it?
All right, I think it's time we move on to the watch of the week. This week, Nathan, tell the audience what you thought about Stargirl.
You know what? It was really awesome. I love how they went back through the episodes progressively. Oh. That was really good. Guys, so we watched an episode of Stargirl. It started out and she was walking to school. There was a big hole in the sign. We were like, ooh, I wonder what's done there. And a lot of things happen, yeah? Episode 2 comes along. It happens actually before episode 1. And we're like, oh, cool, it's a flashback. And things happen. We're like, oh, yeah, they mentioned that in episode 1, so that's what it's about. Then we watched episode 3. And in episode 3, there was the flashback again. And it was the origin. We had to do the origin in episode 3 if they didn't do it in episode 1 or 2, but okay. And then we were like, wait, what's going on? And we checked the player, and yeah, we were on episode 3. We had watched episode 1, we had watched episode 2, we were currently on episode 3. We Googled the episodes. And basically, in episode 3, she's going to school as normal. There's a big hole in the wall. There's all this stuff. There's icicle. Except the difference is that said for us it was episode 1. So we
watched it backwards. We watched
episode 3 and episode 2 and then episode 1. And by the time we got to episode 2, we were like, it's so cool how they started without an origin, but now they're like going back through it and they're showing us this way, because now we can point out things that they said and reference, and it comes to this. This is so cool. Then episode 1 came along, we were like, they're not going to do another flashback. And then they said present day, but it wasn't present day. And Joel was just like, it's just, it's probably just, somewhat near. But no, they're all the way back in LA. They're moving to what is it?
Blue Valley.
Blue Valley. But yeah, it said present day, and we were like, we watched this backwards, because I wasn't going to mention it, because I was like, surely not. Surely that's not a thing.
Surely they're not telling me I'm watching episode 3 and I'm actually watching episode 1. Surely that's not what's happening. Turns out it was. That's exactly what was happening.
And by the time by the time big things happened in episode 1, that would have been a really cool like episode 1 energy. Like we'd already seen more than once.
Yeah.
Like her flying on her staff. We've already seen her do that in episode 3 and 2, which we thought were episode 1 and 2.
Oh no.
And we thought they were just cycling back and doing flashbacks, like flashback episodes. But there you go. So the only one we watched in the right place was episode 2.
Yes, technically, I guess.
Yeah, because that was the second one we watched.
Yeah, but it still wasn't in the right place,
no,
really.
It wasn't.
We watched the third one.
Before it. Oh.
Yeah, I really enjoyed these. These were really good episodes.
They were good. They were very good.
These... it's just
honestly,
it's frustrating that we watched them backwards, because like now we have to go through the episodes and be like what we liked about each and every episode.
But that's the thing. Like in episode 2, there was like a really cool scene where like you see her suited up for the first time, but evidently we had already seen her suited up, because we thought when we were watching episode 1 that they just didn't start with an origin. And I was like, it's cooler than not starting with an origin. They'll probably do a flashback, And then episode 2 I was like, oh look, they are doing a flashback. It's not an origin, but hey. And then we got to episode 3 and we were like, yeah, this is just episode 1, isn't it? And then I looked it up and
yeah, so we were fools, and we were fooled by the media player. But let's go to actual episode 1.
Actual episode 1. But it starts off immediately 10 years ago, doesn't it?
Yes.
It
starts off 10 years ago
with the Injustice Society. No, not the Injustice. The Justice Society of America.
Yeah, well, it starts off with both of them.
Does it? Oh, of course, yeah. Starts off with both of them.
They're having a big fight in a
fight in like a mansion, and then Patrick himself, the sidekick,
Pat Duggan,
Stripeys or Stripesy or Stripe, whatever you want to call him.
Stripesy.
He shows up and Starman's there, and he's like, "Mate, you're a sidekick. Get lost."
Yeah. And it's for his own good, because basically, 10 years ago, which is how this series starts, the Justice Society of America was wiped out and killed by the Injustice Society of America, including Starman. The only person that's left that has any connection to them is Pat Stripesy, who managed to get away with Starman, but Starman still died. So the Injustice Society reigned supreme. They killed off the Justice Society of America, and then they've been doing the nefarious deeds, whatever their plan is, Project America, for 10 years. Pat has now moved in with a new family. He's a dad himself, but now he's just become a stepdad to Courtney Whitmore, aka Stargirl, and he's married to Courtney's mother. A big thing about this is Courtney, in this, Stargirl, she doesn't know her father. She was too young to ever remember him.
Well, like, the father situation's a bit weird, because we get explained to us, either, I think it's the first episode, because it's the last one we watched, that the father was actually never really there. So whether that was because he was being a superhero, because it's not even her father, who knows.
Yeah.
Basically, he was barely there, and he showed up a few times whenever, and then that one Christmas, which I think they said that he always shows up at least on Christmas Eve or something, or on Christmas, but then he just never did, that 1 year, 10 years ago. So that was, again, if that's so, it's probably because he's being superhero like. But if we don't know what.
That's the thing. Like so later on in the episode, she thinks that her father is Starman because the day that he abandoned her was the day that Starman and the rest of the JSA died. It's not like a massive leap of faith, like, for that to happen, because the reason she also thinks that, the also other thing, is because the staff that works for Starman only ever works for Starman, and it works for her. So she thinks it must be something like they're related or something like that for the staff to have chosen her.
And she finds out that, like, what Pat knew Starman as and what they knew their father as is different names, but they basically just think it's an alias. Or, well, she does anyway.
Yeah, so she had a father named something, but Starman's name was something different when he was a civilian. His civilian name is Sylvester Pemberton, which is really cool because he is the Star-Spangled Kid with the sidekick Stripesy. But in my recollection in the comics, he's never Starman in the comics. He's always the Star-Spangled Kid or Skyman.
Something we did find out though is that he was the Star-Spangled Kid, but then he just inherited the staff, and obviously the guy who made the staff, we were told, you said he was the first ever Starman.
Well, yeah, it was Ted Knight, and to my knowledge, that's the first ever Starman.
So maybe it just got passed on so much that eventually we just got to a point where it's this new guy.
Yeah.
Sylvester, whatever it may be.
Pemberton.
Sam, or Sam, whatever, Yeah, I mean, it's plausible each way, I think. I definitely... I think the show wants us to think that it is her father, so maybe that's where the curveball comes in.
I don't... Yeah, this is the thing. So let's just... We'll get our opinions out in a sec, but what the rest of the episode then is her meeting Pat and stuff, and like he's married to her mum now, and they have to move away from her friend. She has a best friend, and she has to move away from her, and she blames Pat, and she's this generic kid that hates her stepfather. Yeah. Until she finds out about Pat is actually Starman from back in the day, like sidekick Stripesy, and the staff chooses her, and then she gets into hijinks in the first episode. After she finds out all this stuff, she comes to the conclusion that Starman must be her father, and then the hijinks ensue. Before we get into the hijinks, do you reckon it's her father? I don't think it is.
Listen, it's like they definitely want us to think it is. They definitely want us to just subconsciously believe it, because, like, I feel like they want us to believe it, but in a sense of, like, we wouldn't double guess it. It'd be like, yeah, it's obviously a father, and then we never think about it again. It's just in the back of our head, so that if they do then reveal that it's not, then it's even more of a big surprise. But I don't know,
because Pat says, like, a couple of times, like, Starman's not your dad.
Yeah. But, like, by episode 3, he kind of says something along the lines of, like, episode 2, whatever it was, like,
maybe he is your dad.
Maybe he is, maybe he isn't, but either way, blah, 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 whatever. But,
yeah.
Like, the photo that she has in her locket is very blurry and very scuffed, and I think that's on purpose. Yeah, so that we can't really make it out. I don't know. But, I mean, can they really go that close to say exact same night, look pretty much the same, but then be like, actually it's not though? Is that really plausible? I think it's
not, and the only reason I think it's not is because I have prior knowledge. I'm pretty sure Courtney Whitmore's Stargirl's dad is not Starman in the comics.
Imagine they come back and it's like, it's not. Yeah, no, we've proved this is a fact now. We've proven it is not your dad. However, this is your dad. Meet Oliver Queen, or some just random
something
like
silly. Yeah,
yeah. Also, like, your dad will be someone well known.
This is your dad. It was Pat all along.
Bro, imagine, because this is what me and Joe were saying. Obviously, we watched it all backwards, by accident. So we basically thought that they knew it was her father, and basically, I thought it was a bit ropes in the fact that they were best friends and sidekicks. He died, and then whilst trying to protect his family, he fell in love with a wife, and they got together. That's what I thought. And I was like, that's such a sad thing. But then we obviously realised that it's...
They don't.
He had no idea.
It's him.
And as she said, it was stars aligning, or whatever.
Yeah. So Stripesy has no idea whether it's her father or not, but it's weird because she can use the staff and no one else apart from Starman can use the staff, but Starman's dead. So yeah, I love Joel McHale as Starman. Joel McHale is super funny. He's a really, really funny person. In Community, he's super funny as well. Yeah, just in Starman, him as Starman for me is absolutely great. I love it.
Well, something that was really cool as well is that they, and I'm not a massive fan because he is kind of like, this is the only thing you potentially have with your father and you're breaking it up. But the fact that she used her Starman's suit to make the Stargirl suit, and it's not like a suit she then made. She just cut bits off to make it like shorts and a crop top, and then
The one thing I didn't get about that though, and like it's like superhero girl design, is so you've got this armored suit, right? Because it is armored. Like she couldn't use shears
cut the scissors with it,
to cut through it. You've got this armored suit, and you want to modify it for you. Okay, cool. You do that.
Makes it less.
But you've taken away from it instead of adding to it. Like
exactly. But that's the thing as well. Like obviously Supergirl now, full body suit like Superman.
Yeah.
But even though she's bulletproof regardless, she still always had a skirt on.
Yeah.
Which never really made sense to me. It's like just because she's a female, they've done it.
Yeah, that's like a comic accuracy thing, I think, at the start. Because in the comics, mainly, she's like portrayed as like during the Death of Superman storylines and stuff like that, as having that really flowy red skirt.
If you tell me that Courtney is bulletproof, then I'll allow it. But it's definitely the suit, because again, she had to use like a proper, like, what were they using, like some form of like, I don't know what it could have been, because it was found in a classroom.
Right.
But it's something, it was evidently a lot stronger than scissors.
Yeah. She was, I don't know, she was using something to cut through it. But I'm so like 100% sure she's not bulletproof, because the powers come from the cosmic staff.
And not only that, but why would she have got bruises from just her fights, like, if she's bulletproof?
Yeah.
She had all cuts up her face.
Exactly.
Something I want to mention, right? Just the way it looks. Why is that something we're only now discovering? If The Flash and Supergirl and Legends of Tomorrow don't come back next year looking like that, I'm gonna be so annoyed.
I know, it's beautiful. The show,
it looks movie
compared
standard.
to the CW shows, it looks so good. And
it's shot widescreen. Well, I mean, they might have added it later on, but regardless, do you know what I mean? It's
yeah. It just looks great. It's got like real good color grading. It looks like it's shot on like an RE. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It looks like it's shot. It looks like it's shot in RAW and really color graded well later. Yeah. I agree. I would love the other CW shows to look like that. Like you mentioned as well, in Crisis, we got a taste of what the Flash would look like with the movie cinematics. Yeah, because the entire of Crisis, the entire of the Flash show is in your standard, regular, not widescreen thing. It's no black bars, nothing. But then in Crisis, it's all no black bars until we have the scene with Ezra Miller, where there is, because that was shot on the cameras they would use to shoot, Justice League. That they're on the movie cameras. Like they got a movie team to shoot that scene. And although I think the suit looks a bit funny in that weird cinematic sort of thing with the Flash, like the suit looked a bit funny. Well, they did purposely film him like straight on. Yeah, for exactly. I think like if they're able to do this type of stuff on the CW budget with Stargirl, then I would love to see it come to the Flash, because I get that the Flash has got its own style at this point, but it looks a lot bigger budget.
Yeah, and like, I'm not saying I want to see a crossover between, you know, the shows that we've already had and the new shows, because the whole point of them combining the multiverse and then creating a new multiverse was so that, you know, there was a fresh start on things. But
yeah,
like, obviously the Flash in some form, whether it's Jay Garrick, Barry Allen, whatever, Wally West, is in Stargirl. It looks to be the Jay Garrick Flash, but like, it's not confirmed.
yeah, and we don't know what he looks like
Yeah.
face wise. I don't want it to be Henry Allen.
I don't think it will be. I think the only reason they did the whole Crisis thing and killed off the Barry Allen from Earth 90 is so that they could say Henry Allen's left the show, because he's died on Earth 1, Earth 2 is completely gone, and obviously Earth 90 Barry is dead. So I feel like
what about the one where like Nora's his wife?
that's Earth 2, bro.
Is that yeah, Jesse's Earth.
And I found that cool as well, because I was gonna rephrase, it's Earth 3. But
yeah.
You know, same concept, it's gone. I was really interested in that as well, because I was like, you know, obviously the idea is that the surnames they pass on. So for example, Henry, his mother's maiden name was Garrick, therefore Jay Garrick, he would have had a son with this quote Nora called Henry, but it would be Grant Gustin Barry Allen. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And hence why John Wesley Shipp is also a Barry Allen in. Do you know what I mean? And that was a really cool concept, but you know they've screwed that.
Yeah, it's all good.
I really wanted to see the Flash in this episode, not because I want to see the Flash, but just because they've done something so different. You want to see
another Flash?
No, but they've done something so different that I was just so curious on whether they do the same, like, you know, the way the lightning looks in the CW Flash, obviously very different to the lightning in the movie. I just wanted to see if they do something different again, if they change it up again, if they do the lightning a bit different. Do you know what I mean? That's generally all I wanted to see. Other than that, I'm not really bothered on seeing the Flash. We saw the helmet; he was cool, but you know, I thought it would be cool to maybe see if they just did the lightning different. That was all I was interested in.
No, I understand. I would have liked to see that, but nah. The thing I want to see, this show's got really good CG. I want to say, like, there was some wonky moments. Don't get me wrong. There's wonky moments in every show that heavily uses CGI, but the staff CG is pretty much flawless at all points in time. The robot CG is so good in some parts. It's ridiculous.
Yeah,
and like
it really is.
It's leagues above the Flash's CG, right? And like, the thing I'm so interested to see, more of Solomon Grundy, but if we ever get a Green Lantern in Stargirl's team,
because we literally see her with the lantern.
Yeah, like she picks up all those items in one of the episodes. I think it's it's not season. Sorry, episode 3. She picks up the first one we watched. She picks up all the items and she wants to create a new JSA, right?
Yeah.
So, like, if she does, it would be amazing to see a new Green Lantern, and not any Green Lantern. The type of Green Lantern from the Justice Society of America, the one that's weakness is not fear or anger, it's wood. I adore the Justice Society of America and the Golden Age of comics, and they are going ham with it. Like, they are fully giving us the Golden Age.
And I like being able to see that, because again, we can't really do that with the shows that already exist, because obviously...
No, they do it in Legends, and to be honest, it's nowhere near as good as this.
Legends is an exception, fair, but I mean, as in, you know, they did the Flash without, you know, there was no existence of Batman, Superman, Aquaman, Wonder Woman at all.
Yeah.
Like, in that universe, until Supergirl came along, but that was different Earths. So, but with this, they can just do what they want. It's a completely fresh start, and I love that.
Yeah. We've got, like, there's so many people to look, but like, I didn't think Icicle, when I saw the trailers, was gonna be as big as a person as he is in this show. He's integral, and I really like his character.
Yeah.
The Brainwave character super good villain, right? But the Icicle character, what a great villain with such a good like the sort of thing that was like Thanos did no wrong, like mentality. Like he's doing bad things, but for a good goal.
You say that. He straight killed a kid and then killed the kid's dad.
Yo, he's a horrible guy, right? He's a terrible person. And you're not wrong. You're not wrong, Nathan. Okay?
Well, can I just say as well, can I just say, you know what we were saying, oh, we've only just met this character and now he's died, but like it was, you know, it obviously then became a joke because we realised it was actually the 3rd episode.
Yeah.
The only other time we see that character is in episode 2, and it's literally just when he's going, Dad, there's someone downstairs, and that's it.
Yeah, like
so
they straight introduced the character
whether we
and
watched
killed
it
him
first or
in the
last.
second in this same episode.
It's mad, bro. It was mad.
I high key love this show, and I'm definitely gonna keep watching it. I think I was gonna keep watching it anyway because it's a CW show, of course. But I'm definitely gonna keep watching it, and I'm gonna be super excited about it. I think obviously it won't be our what we watch next week, but next week another episode will have come out, and if we have seen it, maybe we'll mention something about it in the news segment. But yeah, that is something that we're gonna keep on watching, and like it's super good. Is there any like standout moments for you?
There was one moment in, I feel like for me it's all episode 3, just because, you know,
yeah,
that's
because
the one that had
it's
the most
technically
impact.
like, to us technically it's the best episode.
Yeah,
That's
we were like, how
because
was it?
It was built well.
We were literally like, how was the first episode this good? No, what I really liked was him introducing her to the Justice Society and the table, and you know, just the entire room.
Yeah.
Pat
No, I
doing that.
really loved that as well.
That was awesome.
I think they've got Dr. Fate's helmet in that room.
Yes.
Which like is going to be a plot point, right? Because although the JSA is dead, Dr. Fate will never die. Because whoever puts on his mask, I think his name's Namu or Nabu or something like that. Nabu takes over their personality. Dr. Fate takes over that person's body. Because the helmet is the personality.
Yeah.
So, like, he'll never die. So, if they do have a new JSA and they find a new Dr. Fate, it will be the same Dr. Fate that fought side by side with Starman.
Bro, honestly, they've set so much stuff up, right, that this could be stuff that ranges on until season 2, season 3.
Yeah.
And I hope it gets those. It deserves those at this point. Obviously,
I think
it's not too safe to say yet.
Supergirl's doing well enough to keep getting renewed, and so is, you know, Legends and all of that, this show should definitely do well enough to be keep getting renewed. Because I don't want to say it's a better show, because I love it for different reasons, but already this show is going to be one of my highly anticipated shows every week of coming out.
Honestly, unless something happens where like, you know, it kind of drops. Supergirl, I watched all of season 1. Tried to watch a bit of season 2. I haven't watched it since, okay? Other than the credits.
Season 1, that's a mistake. It was at a different network and it was bad.
Exactly. The Flash, I've been watching consistently. Arrow, season 1, couldn't watch anymore. I just didn't feel interested, and especially because
I'm a little bit behind on Arrow, but like I've watched most of Arrow.
I know that like season 4 was like really bad, so I feel like that's why. But Legends, again, watched season 1, enjoyed. Didn't really feel interested in it again. This show is so good that I can tell you for a fact, unless there is an episode that is straight awful,
garbage.
I will be watching it again.
I think even if they give us a garbage episode, I'm on board for seeing what's happening the week after that. Do you know what I mean?
Well, I'm just worried about filler. Unless they give me
characters and then kill them off. Do you know what I mean?
I'm worried about filler because there's so much story and there's so much backstory and so much passion behind why certain episode events are occurring. I feel like filler episodes are just gonna take away from it.
Yeah, And
know what I mean?
I really like the idea of there being one person left from the JSA that like is alive, and I thought they were
wasn't
going to
even
give us
JSA
with
really,
that
was he? Which
explanation
is
of
even
our
cooler.
man still being alive after that battle, but he
Yeah.
actually died as well. So like,
Well-
literally, it's just Pat that remembers those days. So I'm really hoping we get some Dr. Fate stuff. That's like my major goals for Stargirl, and my major like things of like, please give me this, is I want to see a live action old golden age Green Lantern. I want to see Dr. Fate, and I want to see more of Joel McHale.
Well, this is the thing. The Injustice Society.
Super cool, by the way.
Yeah. There was two guys. Three guys notably. There was Icicle. There was is it Brainwave?
Brainwave, yeah.
And then there was the wizard guy. What was his name? No, magic.
Williams and Nekik or whatever, the
Yeah.
wizard. His name's literally the wizard.
Yeah, fair enough then. Icicle obviously we see, but the wizard, he gets killed by another member of the Injustice Society.
Yeah. Because he's
But-
just trying to live like a
Yeah,
normal life, basically.
and he
He's,
gets
like, afraid
recruited,
of
and then
doing
like
that
he
stuff.
kills his son. So he's threatening to kill him, but then he just kills him straight out.
Yeah.
So I don't know where they're gonna go with that. Do you reckon they're gonna have, because they're trying to, we think we're trying to recruit like a new Justice Society. Do you reckon there'll be like a new younger Injustice Society as well?
Maybe. Well, Brainwave was constantly trying to, like, with his kid, say, like, read my thoughts,
Yeah.
because he really
Yeah.
wanted him to be like him, I think. But I think that it's more likely that we will have villains' children becoming heroes. Like Marvel
I do feel like
Runaways.
that, yeah.
Um,
Especially with that one
we've
guy who we
we've
see.
still not met everyone, right? But it seems to
Yeah.
me that the theme of the town may be that all of the major parents that we run into become villains, or are villains, because
Yeah.
we've still not met Dragon King. We've still not met the woman with the black painted eye with the white makeup on that was in there.
We've seen her when we had the first Injustice Society back in like that in that flashback.
Well, yeah, but they're still part of the Injustice Society. That's the point, right? They're all
Yeah.
still around. None of them died. So it's like we haven't seen them in the modern day era yet. So I'm thinking, are we going to run into them, and are they going to be parents of children in the school?
I mean, it's definitely plausible.
Like I definitely think Dragon King's going to have like a kid or something like that.
Yeah, I think so.
Like yeah, and because Blue Valley is like where they settled down, so like they've made this town full of people, and like they're all settled in with their lives in this town, but they're actually the Injustice Society.
Something I want to mention just quickly, something that me and you thought was cool. It's a bit of a theory.
Yeah.
So they go into the cafeteria and Courtney gets like derouted. What am I trying to what's the word I'm trying to think of? Like shown to, I suppose, guided to a table which is basically for people who are singles, who are losers, who haven't got other people to sit with. Every single table in the cafeteria is like rectangle, but the one table with Courtney and these other singles, the people who no one wants to speak to, is a round table, aka exactly the same as the Injustice Society table.
Same as Injustice and Justice Society table. So and Courtney sits down at that table, and I literally said to Nathan right at that point in time, I was like, I think the kids at this table who are sat here now will become the next JSA.
Do you know what I think will happen?
Symbolization and stuff, but also just the fact that we're getting screen time with them all the time.
Yeah.
Like that girl, she was being shamed for being a slut or something like that, and we saw her in pretty much every episode. We saw the girl with the parent who is a doctor, and the other parent that works with Barbara, Stargirl's mum, and she's super enthusiastic. We've seen her in pretty much every episode. And that guy, we've seen that guy twice. He was sat at the table.
He up and left,
and
though.
then he was in detention, and then we saw him outside of school, and he just scoffed at her and walked past.
That guy who is, I believe, is Icicle's son. I could be very, very wrong. I think it's Icicle's son, and he.
Oh yeah, the guy who draws. Yeah.
Yeah, the guy who draws, and he's kind of like the mysterious one. Blah blah blah. He's the one who saw up with the card trick. I feel like we're gonna get a thing where like he eventually sits down with them, and that's like a nod to him becoming a hero as well.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
I reckon so as well, and I think he's because we don't know Icicle's identity, right? So I think he's gonna join the JSA because he thinks the things that people are doing are wrong, and then eventually through a battle he's gonna find out his father is Icicle.
Yeah.
Who do you think they're each individually going to become? Because they're gonna become newer versions of older heroes.
See, this is the thing, right? I don't know whether they would do this, but I'm going to use an example that, for me, is like the one that I probably know most about. So, in the Power Rangers community, there's like a big want for a female Black Ranger and a female Green Ranger, yeah? And also a male Pink Ranger, because it's kind of like the stereotypical colours of men and women, swapping them.
Oh, I've played the Power Rangers RPG, and I picked a Pink Ranger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, exactly that. There's so many people want it, and especially like we have a female Black Ranger in Hyperforce, but that's like the tabletop RPG.
Yeah.
But I think, I say think, something that I feel like they could do, especially with like what they're doing with like diversity and everything, they could make the Green Lantern one of the females, one of the two girls, or if not, that guy who got up and left because he was wearing a green jacket. And I was like, it's Tommy Oliver from the 2017 film we never got.
Yeah.
So it could be him because he was wearing a green jacket.
I think one of those girls is going to be like a guy character, maybe. So here's what my theory is. We don't see the faces of a lot of people, right? We don't see the faces of Jay Garrick as the Flash. We don't see the face of the Green Lantern. We don't see the face of Dr. Fate or like Hawkman or anything like that. We don't see those people's faces, but we do see Starman's face and Hourman's face and Dr. Midnight's face and Wildcat's face. So my theory is the people who have actors that played them before,
are gonna be the kids.
They are going to be the new generation of those heroes. So I think we're going to get a new Wildcat, we're going to get a new Dr. Midnight, a new Hourman.
But what about the whole fact that she picked up the lantern, though?
So yeah, but she picks up like that pen as well, that like pink pen, and I don't think that has anything to do with, you know what I mean, like a specific hero. I think she picked up everything though, didn't she? Like it, but it was just her like showing us her picking up individual items.
G. Carrick's helmet. Crazy inside.
Yeah, she didn't pick up that. It doesn't give the person super speed. Imagine if it gave the person super speed.
Imagine, bro.
Imagine.
I'd be strutting about the house. Well, no one would see me strutting about. I'd be going too fast, but I know I'm wearing it.
Can you just imagine that there's like a villain of the week that's not like the Injustice Society or anything like that, but there's just like a kid that comes up with Velocity 9?
That would be pretty cool, especially because we've seen, like, obviously we saw Accelerated Man for a couple of seconds in like season 4, I think it was. Or no, season 5, I'm not sure. But like we've seen other speedsters, so like there could be like maybe like a Bart Allen from Smallville type thing, where there's just like a kid who has like speed.
Right.
Well, actually, you had a theory, didn't you? That the Flash is actually sits on the Speed Force and not dead.
My favorite thing is if the Injustice Society start getting villains like defeated, and the like they have to start recruiting more members, or like the roster swaps around or something, there is 100% a villain I want to see in Flash terms join the Injustice Society. Can you guess who it is? We spoke about them recently because they had a really bad version on the CW.
The bad version?
Yeah.
I know of people that we did talk about recently. I don't know about bad versions.
Really bad black costume.
The Rival.
Like the Rival. I would love to see a proper Jay Garrick the Rival. So like it's obviously not Jay Garrick because it's the person who is the rival, but like his costume's exactly the same but just dark. Do you know what I mean? And that would be a really cool villain for the Injustice Society.
I think, because obviously we had the rival for like 2 episodes in season 3. I think if they're gonna do any Flash character rival, because they've already done him, they're probably not gonna do him in the future, and it also then leaves open being able to do characters on the Flash without it being like, oh, we've seen all of this in Stargirl though. I feel like rival is a good shout.
Yeah, exactly. Because we're gonna get a better version of a character that's already been on the CW show. Because he was the rival because of the Alchemist guy, right? Yeah. So, like, we're gonna get a better version of that, and he could look like the Jay Garrick character, right? Because his costume is literally just that, but black or like darker at least.
Well, you say that, it's kind of the definitely for the Jay Garrick that we see John Wesley Shipp as. Not so much of the Hunter Zolomon one though.
Yeah. But like,
but yeah,
getting the rival, like, I want him to have the costume that Jay Garrick has in the Stargirl TV show, but dark. And
yeah.
I want like maybe a betrayal storyline where they think that he was trapped in the Speed Force and that the Flash of the JSA didn't really die, but actually all along it was Edward Claris and it was the rival and it wasn't Jay Garrick and they've been tricked by the ISA.
Right.
Like a really cool storyline with the rival, because like if they're going to do Flash stuff on Stargirl, which I don't think they are, but if they do that stuff, give me the rival or give me classic Jay Garrick stuff.
Yeah, I feel definitely. If they're gonna do anything with the Flash now, do the rival, because obviously we've seen a lot of Reverse Flash on Legends. Obviously, they are within the same canon, even though Stargirl technically is as well multiverse. But I feel like the rival doesn't have to be the same actor, obviously.
No.
Just use him, and possibly even Black Flash if you want, because we supposedly had Black Flash and his emblem turned red and white, but then every time we see him again, he's just got a red lightning bolt and like he hasn't got the white, so it's not really Black Flash. But
right,
yeah, I definitely feel like rival or Black Flash, but more towards rival. But just fix the suit as well, because it just looks really like clumpy, and in the CW one, it's not. I don't like it.
Yeah, if the CW like Earth Prime rival came back at all, I would want him to look like proper stuff. Edward Claris proper, just upside down lightning bolt, but all black and stuff, and with the helmet, because he's got the helmet, right, and he's got the all red bodysuit sort of thing. So like, that's the most important part, right? Give us the helmet, give us the red t-shirt with the blue jeans, or the all red bodysuit, something like that, but just a darker version and stuff. Oh, and you know what? Seeing as though she didn't take the helmet, it would be really cool if they did that storyline, whereas though he comes out of the Speed Force or something like that, something of that effect, and like he grabs the helmet from the JSA, and he's like, I'm Jay Garrick, and stuff like that, and I don't know how close Pat would be in order to say whether he's the real Jay Garrick or not, but I would like Pat to be fooled as well.
Yeah, and definitely be like, how are you back, blah, but then after that, kind of be like, okay, I never knew him anyway, so I'm not going to act as if.
Yeah.
Yeah,
exactly. So like, but all along it's Edward Claris, but he uses the actual Jay Garrick helmet and stuff, and like he comes to the Hall of Justice, and he's like, hey, you kids are like still naive and you're still kids and stuff, so let me tell you how you're really supposed to be doing things. And then he like sets them up for failure for the ISA and stuff.
Bro, solid idea. Whether they do it, I don't know. Obviously,
yeah, whether they do that or not is down to
again,
them. But like,
you know, like I said,
all
I
I'm
don't
saying
specifically
is I
want
want
to
to
see
be a
Flash.
writer for superhero TV shows, and
Yeah.
this is why.
But like again, I just want to point out to everyone, Stargirl is absolutely amazing with Flash or without. I don't need to see Flash in it. We have a Flash TV show. However, yes, I am curious as to how that version of Flash runs, and also how his lightning would look. Whether it's exactly the same because it's CW, or whether it's different.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it was still yellow when it was Jay Garrick anyway. Like, he still had yellow lightning when he was in the comics.
Yeah, but I know, but like just the way the lightning is, and just the way it forms and the way it moves.
I'm super excited for this show. This show was super good, and obviously we went along on fan theories and stuff on who we think going to be. And we didn't, we haven't done a proper review, but you can tell by the way we're theorizing and stuff. We loved these 3 episodes. They were really good. It's shot beautifully. It's made very well. Greg Berlanti and Jeff Johns, executive producers on it. They, it's been done really, really well.
It really is.
For specifics, by the way, which of those people do you think is going to be who? Like, do you think the nerdy, enthusiastic girl at the table is going to be a specific hero? Who do you think she's going to be?
Nothing I can really think of.
I think she might be Dr. Midnight, because her mum's a doctor.
I mean, you could do. I mean, the Flash's dad was supposedly a murderer, but they didn't go around calling him a murderer, so I mean...
Yeah.
Nah, I don't know, honestly, it's anyone's guess. I feel like that one guy is a shout for Green Lantern, though, if they do that, because again, Green Jacket, that's not... They don't just...
By accident.
They know they don't do things by accident.
Could be. I'm not sure. But,
What would you rate those first 3 episodes out of 5?
Yeah, it's gotta be high. It's gotta be high for me, because it ticks a lot of boxes. It's not perfect, though, do you know what I mean? Like, at parts it has dodgy CGI, at parts it's slow. Whether that's because we watched it backwards or not, I don't know. Like, there are slower points in the show. I'll give it a solid 4, maybe a 4.5. What about you?
So, I'm going to do a first for the podcast, and I'm going to give our first 5.
Oh,
do you want to know why?
Go on, tell me why.
Yes, you said there were flaws, there was this, there was that, but the series was great, and we started it on episode 3, and we still thought, oh my god, this is amazing, this is a great first episode. And it wasn't the first episode, but the fact that we could start watching there and be like,
this is amazing,
wow,
yeah.
this is amazing, and I'm so excited to see more. I just feel like...
I do agree that it's a brilliant show, and that's a first, everyone. Clap, 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 clap. That is a first. That's our first 5. I'm going to stick with a 4.5, though, I think. It's great, but like I think I need to reserve the 5 for something that blows my mind.
Literally. First of all, I want to let you know, even though we're doing this out of 5, if something really does blow my mind, you best know I'm going higher than 5 out of 5. Still out of 5, but it'll be going higher than 5.
I'm like 96 out of 5.
This was so good, so unexpected. It was shot beautifully. The colours were great, right? And I love the kind of 50s / modern day thing. But the fact that we started at episode 3 and was like, wow, and we were so willing to just watch forward as of that point, then, you can't get that much elsewhere. Do you know what I mean? You couldn't, as much as I adore the show, you can't start the Flash season, you can't start the Flash season 1, start watching from episode 3 and then be like, everything makes sense, because obviously you start finding stuff about Thorne, you start finding out there, you know what I mean?
Yeah, you get a lot of superhero for your buck with the show as well. Like in the first episode, not so much. Like it had loads though. Do you know what I mean? The only thing it was missing was like the costume. But like the second episode as well, like in the third episode, definitely You get superheroing stuff. You know what I mean? You get the teen melodrama that comes with, you know, her being young and it being a teen superhero show and stuff like that. You get the melodrama in it, which is probably the only reason that I've divved it 0.5.
Yeah.
But like, you get a lot of superhero for your buck because of the legacy that everything leaves behind. Everything is connected somehow back to the JSA. Even when you're speaking to normal high school students, you're like, I wonder if they're going to become a superhero, or I wonder if their parents are a villain. Do you know what I mean? It's like, because of the mythos, it's super good. I think this is quite a long podcast as well. So
I think this is our first 2-hour podcast.
Yeah, we've given our rating, so I think we ought to wrap it up soon. So next week's Watch of the Week is going to be One Punch Man, because Nathan's never seen it. But thank you everybody for watching. You know, leave a like, definitely comment if you watched along and what your favorite parts of the show was. Comment on everything, you know what I mean, with the news we had earlier, or how excited you are for J.K. Simmons rather to be playing J. Jonah Jameson again.
J.J. Abrams directing Spider-Man 7.
Yeah. And most of all, if you want to see more from us, subscribe to Film Form also. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed this week. We will see you later.